Hello everybody and welcome back to ChillCraft. It is Higgy here and I am welcoming you to a beautiful episode where I'm going to get a hell of a lot done. You can see I am here sat up top of my bee modules where I'm getting honeycomb, but that has nothing to do with today's episode. Today I am going to do some massive improvements into this area. I want to get the middle bit, the storage room done. I want to get my nether portal in the middle so I can remove the one on the outside. I want to expand both my pumpkin melon farm and my sugarcane farm. I want to complete the bone meal farm. I want to complete my villager hall. I've got a lot of plans. So there's going to be a lot of time lapses of things being built up. A lot of the farms I'm going to go through how they work and how you can build them yourself. I'm going to put links and things, and generally I'm just going to sort out this entire area and make it more useful, make it a bit better laid out, remove like the dirt ceilings, remove the little ugly hut where I'm keeping all my book people at the moment. I'm gonna put the rest of the creeper farms in so it is the most efficient it can be, and it'll be the big area. I might even get to building some new farms, but I have a lot planned, so this episode is probably going to be a bit longer than other ones, but it's going to be a lot more enjoyable. The fake doctor has agreed to make some new music for me. And yeah, it's just going to be hopefully a bit more of a chilled one with some technical details sprinkled in. So I think we'll jump straight into the first build. The first part of sorting out my industrial district is done. I have done the entire floor in plain regular stone, and it'll be decorated with the builds as we come along, so it won't look as boring. Now the last thing I have to do is update the map. Go. So, bam. You can see this ring around the edge. That's where my wall's going to be. That will be updated, don't worry. It's not going to just be this weird green line around the outside. And I think I'm going to get on to doing that. Not next, because I've done a lot of digging around. I want to, I think, finish a farm before I do some more aesthetic stuff. So I'm gonna jump into the next time lapse, and I think it's gonna be this one that I'll dig up. While this time-lapse goes showing the build of this farm, I'm going to go through and explain a little bit of how it works. The entire farm is designed so it takes into account the villager range. They can only go a certain distance from their job block, as well as keeping the entire farm hydrated and lit up so no mobs can spawn. There is a link in the description below to the bone meal farm that I use, as well as the video by Impulse, which brought all 4 modules together in a way that I have used it as well. And how it works is the villagers, all scattered around in each pod, are going to be farming carrots. Now, when it comes to the evening, villagers have a gossip time, and they're all going to see the villager who's in the middle of the pod, surrounded by hopper minecarts. So they all try and talk to them. When they do, they're like, it's time, we can make more villagers. And what they do is they throw their carrots at the person in the middle. Now, because I've got the hopper minecarts there, these are then instantly taken away from them and transported down to my bottom sorting system. So this farm will then perpetually get me carrots, and it won't change. Now at the bottom, all of my carrots are converted into bone meal using composters. So all hoppers take the carrots and just push them straight into the composter, which are then taken out and stored away. And that's essentially the entire farm, how it works. I've decided to go up 5 levels to produce a lot of bone meal, which I can then use for other farms in the future, such as a tree farm, or I can use it to make bone blocks, which is a cool looking building material. And that is the entire bone meal farm completed. All that is left for me to do is to add it to the map. So we're gonna fly down here. This brown object should now become this red object. There we are. And I've got the lights in the middle so you can see the middle. I will eventually put some sort of symbol here, like maybe a bone made out of carpet or something. But I need my sheep farm first. So as you can see, doing all of the farming or making the farmland has half used my netherite home. So I'm going to get some mending done by trading with the villagers below. I think the entire thing, making the entire thing, took about 3 hours. So I should have loads of pumpkins and melons left from the little farm that we've got. And I'm going to move on to probably getting a central storage system done. So I've got somewhere to put everything. Because at the moment, I'm just sort of running underneath to the chest there. These have got chests there, these have got chests there, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to channel everything into a central room where I can then just go, I'm like, okay, I need this, and I'll know it's there. So I think I'm going to get started on that, and I'll see you in a moment. So a few days have passed in real life, and I have built up the central system, or at least the backbone to it, and I have hooked up my 2 farms. I've hooked up this farm, I've hooked up my creeper farm, and you can see this is a simple little unloader that I will go show you later, that just shoots all the gunpowder down where it can get sorted. So, as you'll see, it's quite a lot is missing. I've run out of iron, so I have barely any hoppers in the entire farm. But those ones that do, I have filled with gunpowder and bone meal, so you can see here, just in this corner. And I have hooked them up, so everything that was in the chests is now being unloaded into here. So I'm not gonna find my way up to that one because it'll take me many rockets and I'll just keep missing it. But the unloading system I have left here as well to show you how it works. So this is where all the carrots and everything come into the hoppers and the bone meal. And then here is the same circuit that I have on the gunpowder farm. So this is the dropper shooting everything out into water streams that will take it into the system. And then how this works is the comparator tells us when this is full. This has got things in. It powers this block, which powers that dust, which powers this block. And then the repeater then turns both this off and powers the dropper. So but essentially it will keep just going round and round and round. So if I was to put 5 stones, it will tick and just shoot them all out. Most water streams you have to put like glass or something over, so the water doesn't, or the dropper doesn't just shoot it out into the middle of nowhere. This goes all the way along here. I've capped it off with granite, so I know if I'm digging, I don't go there, because granite seems to be my colour of choice. And then that pathway comes all the way over to about here, which then comes into these pillars. I've put one at each corner, and these are my water streams with a soul sand at the bottom that will shoot all the items up. So when I've built all my farms, they're all going to link into one of these 4 water streams, which will then shoot up and be sorted into the top. Yeah, so these are the water streams that go all the way down to bedrock, and what that means is I can just have every single channel funneling into these, and no matter at what height or depth the farm goes to, they will always be able to link into these. Now, the gunpowder ones, since they're dropping in, I've just got them dropping like one block over, where they will then start into the system. And this is just going to keep going round and round. So if the hoppers are full the first time, then they'll go round and try again afterwards. And if they're not picked up in 5 minutes, they'll despawn. So it's not gonna just be slowly filling up with items, which will cause loads of lag. This here is a fairly standard sorting system, and I'll just give you a brief rundown of how it works. So this top hopper here is where I've got my 1 item that I want sorting into these chests, as well as 4 items that the farm isn't going to produce. In which case I put grass blocks, which I've also named, so it's incredibly unlikely these are going to get put into the system. Now, this comparator detects a signal from the hopper, and it then shoots down here, which will power this. So while there is more than 41 of the gunpowder, the signal strength is large enough that this is on. You can see the next one over is off because there is only 41 in it, and this front one's picking them all up. Now, when that repeater goes off, or on, sorry, this light comes off, meaning the hopper is no longer locked and the items will flow down. This way it keeps it at exactly 41 items in the hopper, and any more comes down into your storage system. And that is basically it. And it's completely tileable. So all the way around we have exactly the same system, and when I've got all my farms and everything, I can have them loaded in right next to each other, and depending on what item I put in the top hopper will be what goes in these chests, which I will have to label, but for now, since I only have 2 chests or 2 different items in here, that's all I need. I have done a bunch of caving and digging since our last episode, so I've gathered a bit more iron here. As you can see, I've got my hoppers, And that is because I am planning to fit another item in, and that is sugarcane. So I have started building the depository system, so it's going to be 9 wide and it's going to be the entire length of this district, because otherwise I will not be able to keep up with the gunpowder. So this is a unloader that is tileable, so it's like the one I've got over there, just a bit shorter, and it stacks next to each other. So we've got the comparator that tells me when there's items in here, that switches this off, which switches this off, so it stays there. Then as soon as that hopper is empty, it goes back on again and the hopper minecart is set off again. Now under here I have the same circuits, so I've got 3 leading into 1 dropper, which will then shoot it out into here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish this off. Finish this tile. So let's go. Right, there we go. And I am back. Ready. I'm gonna demolish this and build up the rails, and I'll see you in a moment. So here we go. You can see I have removed the central sugarcane farms, and I've brought it over here, and I have built up a flying machine which will swoop down all the way to the other end, chopping down all the sugarcane. And if I just go up a little bit here, you can see I've got a daylight sensor with 5, which means it will go off once per day just before somebody sleeps. And I've got another module, same as this, down the other end, so when it gets to the other end it will pause there until someone sleeps, so it's not constantly going, because it could cause lag, and if someone logs off or something, it'll break. And here we go. I have prepared all the rails and everything that I think I will need. So let's get on with this. So all of the rails are in. I've made sure there's no collisions or anything. And I'm going to start building up this pattern all the way around the outside. I've got some stairs to do the very edges, because there'll be some blocks on these edges that will need to be waterlogged. And then I can start getting all the buckets and waterlogging them all. So let's build up the next step. And here we are right now on the last line. That is the grass done. I'm now going to get to work on doing the outsides with my stairs. We're getting there, guys. And I'm soon going to be able to explain to you exactly how this thing works. Water in, slabs done, lights in the middle. This is now entirely mod-proof. I have prepared both of the ends, so slime isn't going to stick to anything. That's what the leaves are for. All I've got left is to build up the walls. I think I'm going to use leaves again, and plant the sugarcane. So let's jump into a little time lapse, and I'll tell you how it all works. So sugarcane farms are actually really simple. The premise of sugarcane is it cannot grow unless it is next to water. Therefore, as you can see on the farm, every single slab is waterlogged, and it means all the sugarcane will be able to grow fully. Now, it naturally grows up to a height of 3, and obviously we don't want the bottom one to be destroyed, because that would ruin the whole premise and we'd have to replant it again. So the flying machine is at the 2nd level, which means when it fires, it removes the top 2 growths all the way across the farm. Now, the rails with the hoppers underneath are able to pick up items through the blocks. So when the flying machine knocks them all down, the hoppers can pick them up, which is then deposited into our sorting system. Now, it's taken a long time to complete, but the actual premise is really simple, and there will be a link in the description to show you how to build your own. And there we have it. That is how this farm works. As you can see, I didn't quite have enough sugarcane to finish the entire farm. So hopefully after a few more runs, these things that grow will then fill up my chests enough that I can finish off this farm. I haven't decided if I want to put a roof on it yet. I might just put a little glass roof over the top. But for now, this is good enough. I think I'm going to add it to the map. Oh, doesn't that look spectacular? So obviously, when the grass is fully grown the entire way down, that will change, and then with the sugarcane on top, it's going to be this luscious green all the way along. So, big farming changes. We'll see what we get up to next. Alright, I have finished planting the rest of the sugarcane, and you can see this thing is productive. This is maybe 4 nights worth, maybe 5 nights, nearly an hour on the server. And that's just from it going and chopping it all down when it gets to nighttime. I changed the rails slightly, so there's only 5 because I kept getting like collisions and they were stopping in the middle. Anyway, I have done some digging and I've done some preparing. I think it's about time we get to finishing my village hut. You can see I have changed the roof, I have added some stairs, and I am going to have an emerald pillar going all the way up the centre. So you know they have these in like big buildings in Hong Kong and stuff. It's like an earthquake prevention thing. I'm just going to have one just all the way up, showcasing all my emeralds, and this is solid. Look, all the way through. And yeah, that's going to go all the way up. I have designed and dug enough concrete, and I think I need 4 more floors to get all the villagers that I want here. So, let's go. So there we have it. This build is complete. I really hope you enjoyed the music provided to me there by the Fake Doctor. Now let me give you a tour. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do with the roof yet, because I don't know, like I'm going to wait till I've decorated this floor before I put whatever on top. And yeah, you can see I've prepared all the villager holes. This is where they'll have double carpet and they're not going to go anywhere. Now all of these floors are virtually the same. I have got the carpets, I've got everything providing light, and then when the villagers are in with their lanterns, they too will have more light. So you can see it goes all the way down, and I'm going to just provide this sort of decoration all the way around when I've got my villagers upstairs. And I think this looks pretty cool, to be honest. When I've got all of these in, which I'll do once I've got the villagers, I think this is going to look pretty dope. Now, as you can see, I have actually forgotten to put a door in. I think it's going to go here-ish, but once I work on the inside a little bit more, I will have that fixed for next episode. So you should be able to see it, and I'll be able to just jump straight in here as opposed to flying through the roof. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. I think that is going to be everything from me today. I do apologise for it being slightly late. However, as I said when I decided the name ChillCraft, if I don't have the time or don't have the content, I will wait a week to make sure the episode is properly enjoyable by you guys. If you have liked it, do press that like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you can see all the videos as soon as I release them. And now that'll be all from me. Bye! For those who remember the start of the episode, I had way more plans and way more things I wanted to do. However, I supremely overestimated just how long these would take and how little time I would have to do it in. So if there was a farm that you liked the sound of and I didn't get around to, leave me a comment, let me know, and I'll see if I can fit it in the next episode.